Hi, welcome back to my channel, and this is a sound off on the new show, Bold and Bougie. Now, I wanted to say bad and bougie so bad. I've been practicing how to say it, and I keep calling the show Bad and Bougie. Y'all, anyways, let's get into it. Okay, so this show is really interesting. I'm not even finna sit up here and be fake. I don't know how this show came together because these group of ladies do not seem to be friends. They just don't. I feel like that some of them know each other in passing, but they not friends. Obviously, we have Malaysia. Everybody knows Malaysia Pargo from Basketball Wives LA. Then we have Gaucher. Now we know Gaucher from a couple of things. Real Housewives of Atlanta, she was on that episode. She came as Candy's friend. I think she used to do Candy's hair though. I feel like she used to do Candy's hair while being on that show. Am I remembering incorrectly? I don't think I am. I think she used to do Candy's hair while she was on that show earlier seasons. She was the friend with the blue hair that dated Roger Bob. Y'all remember her. We also know her. She was on Lala's show that she used to have because she was dating Lala's cousin Dice. She was also on Kim Kimball's show, the hair show. I can't remember the name of the show, but the show with Kim Kimball, she was on that one too. We seen her a lot, and I like Gaucher. Apparently, she been dipping her hands in different businesses. She been doing her thing. So we also have Princess Bonton Lofters. I think that's how you say her name. If I said it wrong, I'm so sorry. But we all know her. Well, I knew her as being the creator of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I first heard about her on Dish Nation. Da Brat is the first person I ever heard speak this lady's name that I remember. Maybe someone else did, but that's where I remember hearing about her. And I remember going to look her up on Instagram, and I started following her. And I was like, oh, okay, she lives a nice little life. But yeah, that's where I know her from. But yeah, she put together the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And this was back when Nene and Portia were going back and forth. And Da Brat was like, nah, Nene, you didn't start it. Princess started it. She had to let the people know. That's where I know her from. But she's also like, she a boss. She said she wasn't even really into TV like that, but she had an idea. And we thank you for that idea because, you know, Real Housewives of Atlanta has fed us well over the years. Now, Tamika Foster Raymond, that is my girl, okay? If y'all follow me on Twitter, y'all know I've been saying for the longest I want her to join the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I love this lady. I don't know what my fascination with her is. I don't know what it is, but I've always liked Tamika. I've been following Tamika on social media for a very long time. I love her. I think the first time I remember knowing anything about her was from a magazine article. I think it was Sister to Sister. I could be wrong, but I think that was the first time I ever seen anything about her. We all know that this is Usher's first wife. Okay, they have 2 kids together. And she used to be on the show Atlanta Exes with Mayetta. And who else was on that show? Tori Hart was on that show. A couple other people was on that show. If you watched, you know, okay? But I love Tamika. I've been rooting for her to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I wish she wasn't on this one because I want to watch her on the other show. Sorry. But I love Tamika. I really do. I don't care what none of y'all say. If it wasn't for Tamika, I would not be watching this show. I promise y'all I wouldn't be watching this show at all. No shade to the rest of the ladies. I love y'all, but I wouldn't be watching if it wasn't for her. So last we have Crystal Smith. And this is Neo's, I believe they are officially divorced. This is his ex-wife. And Crystal girl, Crystal been doing things, okay? She been opening businesses, okay? She said, look, life must go on. And I'm not mad at her about that. Crystal joining this group of ladies that everyone is connected to Mayetta. This is a bit weird. This is a bit weird. Carlos, I don't know what you was trying to do here, but we gonna watch, okay? Apparently on the first episode where Tamika introduced herself to Crystal as Mayetta's friend, it rubbed a lot of people wrong. And I don't know why everybody's sitting up here acting all surprised that she would mention, like, you know, I'm Mayetta's friend. I don't know why that's so weird to people. Y'all not gonna tell me in real life y'all wouldn't act similarly. Like, real talk. If I was in that situation, I don't know that I would act any different. Like, let's be real here. In the ideal world, everybody would be perfect, right? But we're not all perfect people, bitch. If I see my homegirl's ex-man's new girl, I ain't trying to be your friend. I believe you could be friends with whomever you want to, okay? But am I gonna wanna be in a situation with you after you had done something at some point to harm or hurt my friend? No. You guys, you better believe when I meet you, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you know me, I'm Mo's friend. I don't know. I just find it crazy that everyone thinks it's weird that Tamika mentioned Mayetta or that Malaysia mentioned Mayetta. I find it even more weird that Crystal would even want to join these group of ladies when she knows they're all connected to Mayetta. That's the part that's weird to me. And when they were at the pool party and she said something like, I am not the reason why that relationship didn't work out. You keep trying to tell us that, but something about it just I'm not sure. I'm not sure people believe that. I feel like because of how grimy Neo has been, it's hard to believe that you had nothing at all to do with the demise of that relationship. But you know what it is though, Crystal? I didn't watch. Crystal was also on the show. I can't remember the name of it, but she was on the show. I know Eva was on the show. I don't remember who else was on the show. I know that lady that had the video girl show, the Candy Girl show. She was on there too. I don't remember who else was on it. I didn't really watch. I think I watched like 2 episodes. But anyways, the people said she was throwing, she was doing some subs, throwing some, doing some sneak dissing to Mayetta at her engagement party. And I'm assuming her engagement party was on the show because I know her wedding was on the show. So I don't know because I didn't watch it. But what I do remember about Crystal, the little bit that I remember was there was a time where Manetta, I think, made a post or she said something about while she was in a relationship with Neo, she did some things that didn't sit well with her morally. She regretted doing some of the things that she did while being in the relationship, and it weighed on her. And she has a right to say that if that's what happened and that's how she feels. I remember Crystal coming out with a subtweet or something or a Snapchat or a post that she made talking about some don't start confessing now. Why you confessing now or saying little slick stuff to Mayetta? And it was like, yeah, that left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths for you, Crystal. So I can understand why her friends want to make it very clear where they stand, where their loyalty lies, how they coming behind their friend. Like, we're not going to sit up here and play like, girl, Crystal, things got messy. So, and how Neo did Mayetta was really bad. And how he did you was really bad. The same way you want them to understand what you going through, girl. They want you to understand that their friend went through something and you were not as sensitive to their friend as maybe you could have been. I don't know why we acting like we don't understand what's happening here. I mean, I don't know. I thought that her and Mayetta were cool. So if they're telling you Mayetta's my friend, I don't know why that's bothersome to you unless y'all not really that cool and y'all just faking the funk. And it's a very fragile situation. And if too much talking about it can undo whatever progress y'all got, girl, then just say that. Just say, look, we want to keep it a certain way. We want to talk about that. Just say that then. But let's not act like, oh my gosh, I don't know why she's bringing up Mayetta. Because this is Mayetta's turf. And I want to like Crystal because Crystal seems like she's a lot of fun. But it's like, girl, let's not act like we don't understand what's happening here. Come on now. Now, Princess' story about her breast reduction and what went on with it, that is scary. Like I said earlier, I'm not really quite sure what they're trying to do with this show. This seems like an odd group to put together. This was weird. This was awkward. She is telling this story to Tamika. She had Tamika go with her to one of her appointments for a filler. And I can sympathize and empathize with Princess. How do I say this? This group of ladies are not your friends like that. Y'all might know each other, but y'all not really friends like that. So you're in this group of women. The friendship is real brand new. Like, y'all trying to form connection. And I feel like, I don't know. I do feel like Tamika was wrong. Girl, I was over here yelling at Tamika. I was like, Tamika, no, what you doing? I was yelling at Tamika through the screen, like, why would you tell that lady what she's doing is vanity? Yeah, I didn't like that Tamika did that. No, Tamika, you my girl, but why you had to say that? And then it was like, at the same time, Tamika's telling her how she almost died when she did lipo or whatever she did. You know, she went to Brazil. We all remember that. Shortly after that, you know, things got real bad for Tamika. Yeah, I don't know. This was weird. This was weird because I see Princess side, but I also see Tamika's side. I think when you've gone through a lot of stuff, like Tamika's been through a lot. To have to bury your baby, ugh, I don't even know. Like, I don't know how that lady gets up out of bed. I guess because she have other babies that she gotta live for. But she been through a lot. When you've gone through a lot, you do become numb. And sometimes you don't have the right words to offer someone when they're trying to be vulnerable with you. And I think that's what happened with Tamika and Princess. Like, Tamika lives every day knowing that she had to bury her baby. She almost died after having a baby. She's gone through a lot. She went through a divorce right after having a baby. She lost custody right after having to bury her son. Like, she been through a lot. A lot. So it's kind of like sometimes you kind of become a little cold. Certain things just don't move you. And I think maybe because Princess was not ill and, you know, the situation was terrible, but she's okay, she's healthy, she's alive. I think for her, it's kind of like, girl, okay, I feel bad for you, but I don't really know what you want me to say to you. It's awkward because I don't think that they're friends like that. And I think that's why it was just kind of like, it seemed like Tamika was being mean. I don't think she was trying to be mean. I just think that wasn't the person to unload on. It just wasn't. It wasn't for her. She couldn't handle all of that. It's also kind of weird because we know that Princess was a producer of Real Housewives of Atlanta, but now she's in front of the camera and she ain't quite found her sweet spot just yet. And it's like she keeps trying to tell this story, and Tamika's like, oh girl, not this story again, girl. We had a party. We don't hear about it. And she was like talking it up. Oh, I gotta wait for Tamika to get here before I tell you guys. It was kind of awkward. It was like, it was awkward. It was awkward. It was weird. And it was like, girl, this is, I don't know. I do like that Malaysia owned up to being wrong for like asking her, badgering the woman, like, why didn't you wear a bathing suit? Why didn't you wear a bathing suit? And when she found out why, she was like, oh, I feel bad. And let this be a lesson to the people. You know, a lot of times when we be out in social settings, y'all be wanting to know why somebody ain't drinking. Y'all be wanting to force someone to drink when they don't want to drink. Leave people alone. If she didn't show up in a bathing suit, she didn't show up in a bathing suit. Most of y'all didn't show up in bathing suits. It's okay. A lot of people came dressed from head to toe. Like the theme of the Black Aspen theme, okay, y'all did that, I guess. But most of the people wasn't in theme. Okay, so we just gonna jump to this tea party in episode 2. I feel like everybody came to, you know, put their best foot forward. And Goshay clearly was bothered by Tamika and how she treated Crystal at the pool party. I feel like Goshay did a lot in this scene. I feel like Goshay had her producer hat on and she did three much. I don't want to come for you, Goshay. I promise I don't. But I just didn't like, I wasn't feeling how she was coming at Tamika in this episode, girl. I just wasn't. So if y'all pay attention to the vlogs, because I know y'all do, y'all might have seen where Usher did an interview and he said that colorism played a part in the demise of his marriage. Now, if you're an Usher fan like myself, Usher has been very vocal in the past about what went wrong in his marriage to Tamika. I know he had said at one point that he did not take into account how difficult it would be for her and how much scrutiny she would be put under and all the things like being married to a superstar like Usher. He didn't realize how stressful it would be for her, how difficult it would be for her. And he felt like the pressure broke his wife. And that's what caused them to have a lot of heartbreak and trouble in their marriage. The other day, he also added colorism. as a contributing factor. Now, he said a lot of his female fans were attacking him, and he felt like it was because of colorism. They were really upset with who he chose to marry. And I kind of thought Usher might have been reaching a little bit. Like, what you trying to say, Usher? I'm not quite picking up what you're putting down. But he was just saying that they were attacking him. I always felt like, I do remember Usher did used to get real buck with interviewers, and he went on TRL one time, and he was talking real aggressive to the people about how they was treating his wife and how much he loved his wife, and they was against black love. I do remember that. I do remember that. But I always felt like people didn't like Tamika because of the age difference. I never saw it because of her complexion. I did. Now I will say, Tamika was a divorcee. She had 3 kids already. Like, yeah, she didn't look like the type of person we thought Usher would marry. But I always thought she was beautiful. I think her skin is flawless. I think she flies, And I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I was a young girl. My heart was broken that my man was marrying this woman. But I never hated her. I mean, what I look like hating her because of her complexion? So, but I always thought it was because you're Usher. We all had a crush on you as kids, and you're marrying this other woman, and you're not marrying all of us. That's what I thought it was. But after this episode and how Gaucher was coming at Tamika, Usher might be onto something. I appreciate that Gaucher is like, she ain't scary. I like that about her. I like how I like I like her demeanor. I like her aura. I like how she is. But I didn't like how, I feel like she was purposely being cruel to Tamika in that moment. Like when she started asking her about the accident, what happened to her son, then, oh, well, what happened in the divorce? How did you even get with him? And we've seen, the trailer and clips here and there already for future episodes. That rubbed me wrong. I didn't like how that landed on me. I just didn't like it. Like, what do you mean, how did you get him? How did you get your person? How did you get your baby daddies? How did you get your lovers? Like, how did you get the people you got with? What kind of question is that for another woman to ask another woman? Well, how did you get him in the first place? Like, did she medicate him and force him to the altar? Like, what kind of question is that? How did you get him? And it was like, this is what Usher was talking about, that his female fans were attacking him for his choice of a wife. Because what do you mean? How did she get him in the first place? Then you threw out there that, there was some cheating being done. How can you spray her with tea that she put in a book and put up for y'all to buy? It's public knowledge. Everybody knows about the bridesmaid. Everybody knows these stories. This is not secret. Everybody knows this. I feel like you were being unnecessarily cruel to this lady. It wasn't called for. Like, you could have just checked her and said, I didn't like how you came at Crystal, and that would have been it. I just didn't think that was necessary. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like how that landed on me, Gaucher. I really didn't. But yeah, the episode ends on a cliffhanger. I don't know if I'll be reviewing this show. I guess I'll be watching though. I will be watching because my girl on there and I love Tamika. You know what I thought was hilarious? I was trying to see if they mentioned it on the show. But back in the day, when Basketball Wives LA premiered, I remember I used to follow Tamika on Twitter from my other page, not this Bee Sting page, but my real page, Honey2Fly. Check her out. And I remember Tamika used to tweet about the show, about Basketball Wives. And she was like, who is this Lakeisha Malaysia girl? I like her. And I wonder, like, do they even remember that? Like, does Malaysia even know that? Like, girl, Tamika was rooting for you even back then. Y'all remember when she first came on the show, the basketball girls were mean to her. They was all mean to her. She had just had her twins. And then Laura... Did she have a twin? She had just had her twins and Laura had just had her baby and they got into the fight. Y'all remember that? I just thought that was hilarious. Like, now they're on the show together. Isn't that something? But yeah, like I said, I don't know if I'll be reviewing every episode, but something exciting happens. I'll come over here and talk about it with y'all. Y'all let me know. But please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.